Today's reading is Wally Darling from the Sexypedia Wiki. Source content warning. While not covered in this entry, the source material deals with potentially disturbing subject matter. If you find it interesting, but are disturbed by the following topics: death, psychological torment, harsh sounds, uncanny valley. More trigger warnings can be found on clownillustration.com under the About Welcome Home section. Please check an in-depth list of content warnings. The wiki recommends doesthedogdie.com before interacting with it, and proceed with caution. Wally Darling is the main character and potential antagonist of the puppet-themed web project Welcome Home, a sweet, soft-voiced artist who is always happy to share a smile. Wally acts as the central character of the cancelled Welcome Home 70s puppet show, the object of the project's restoration plans. However, it is clear that there is something dark lurking underneath the surface of this project, and Wally appears to be at the center of it. In no time at all, Wally has garnered a vocal, excited fan base, and folks have been clamoring for him to be on Sexypedia. His class is Tiamat, and his source is Welcome Home. Archetypes. Fourth wall blurring. Although we are only at the beginning of the project as of the writing of this article, it is clear that Wally is capable of breaking the fourth wall. He seems to be aware of the viewer, with you being an important part of the horror project. Likewise, Wally appears to be able to interact with the audience via the website's guestbook. Artsy. Wally is an artist. You can see his art on the website guestbook, as well as much of his official and restored art involving him holding a paintbrush. Clown. The cast of Welcome Home are all rainbow-colored, Muppet-esque creatures, but Wally in particular embodies a well-dressed clown. However, it's interesting to note that Wally claims to not know what a clown is. On page 2 of the guestbook, Guest Cloudy says, "Hello, I love clowns, show me one." Next to it is a drawing of Barnaby. This drawing is titled, "I do not know what clown is. I asked Frank. He said Barnaby. Here is Barnaby." Spaces adding for easier reading. Coincidentally, Wally's creator is also named Clown. Distinctive voice / distinctive laugh / quotable catchphrase. Wally has a very soft, soothing voice, as well as an unusual monotone laugh. Canon deeper version. Likewise, Wally has a catchphrase. That's the most. A fan catchphrase is, "Open the door." Eye imagery. Wally is enormously associated with eye imagery. The first we see of him on the Welcome Home website has a hidden eye just below him. Wally appears to be able to see the viewer in some way, and his home has eyes which are always watching. There's also just a lot of art where his eyes are the only thing you can see. Glitching. The Welcome Home website is full of strange little glitches and hidden sources of information. At present, we believe Wally to be the cause of these glitches, but we still require more information. LGBTQ+ coded. Welcome Home in general seems to be quite LGBTQ+ friendly, with many characters being canonically LGBTQ, and LGBTQ+ headcanons are popular for Wally, being the fabulous lovable fellow that he is. The most common trend is headcanoning him and Barnaby as being partners. This was also hinted at by the creator, when asked about it saying, "But please feel free to interpret them, Wally and Barnaby, as you like. Once the ball is rolling, it will be exciting to see the relationship unfold. Thank you." Many have taken this to assume that later in the project the relationship will be revealed, in conjunction with, additionally, that I cannot go too deeply into it because I may give something away, when speaking on the other queer characters. Mysterious. We are so early on into the Welcome Home project, as of the writing of this article, that we don't know much about Wally or his intentions, and mystery is a strong undercurrent to his whole character. Non-human. It's a puppet and potentially something more. Obsessive. Although the current iteration of the project is new, we know from earlier material that Wally holds some sort of fascination / obsession with you. In an audio test for the series, Wally says that he loves you. Perpetual smiler. Wally is almost always portrayed as smiling, which may come as a consequence of his Muppet-shaped mouth. Power. We don't know why or how, but the little information we have seems to suggest that Wally has a great deal of power that goes beyond the rest of the cast. Puppet motif. Welcome Home is literally based on shows like Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, both of which use puppets and Muppets. Wally possibly also controlling the other characters and or being controlled by Home. Religious imagery. Wally is known to be obsessed with apples, not to eat them, but just as an object of fixation, which have caused many fans to note the possible biblical symbolism. Likewise, Wally's early design included cross-shaped cufflinks, and one of the concept pieces for Welcome Home has him in the Baphomet pose. Although it's no longer canon, it used to be part of him. He is also dressed up as a demon for Halloween, canonically this time. Retro. Welcome Home is based on early Sesame Street, the works of Jim Henson, and has a 70s theme. Short. He's canonically 3 feet tall. Theme song. In the first proper clip of his voice, we hear him sing Beautiful Dreamer, though the fandom has associated Wally and Welcome Home with Tiny Tim's cover of Living in the Sunlight, Lovin' in the Moonlight, as it is frequently used in TikToks. Thin. In the official art and in fandom, Wally's art form is portrayed as quite thin, though in a more squishy rectangular way. Urban legend aesthetic. Wally is the central character to an alternate reality project, and the protagonist of a lost 70s puppet show. He's an urban legend himself. Well dressed. Wally is shown in a variety of fine and fancy outfits, often with rainbow pinstriped pants and a bright red cravat. Fan tropes. Dominating. Wally's dominating personality has quickly become a fan interpretation due to his implied power and possible intentions towards you. Eldritch. This is more fan speculation, as we currently don't have enough information about Wally to know about the specifics of his form. However, his abilities and power imply that something isn't right with him, and that his status as a fictional puppet is no longer a truth. Flanderization. Sort of? Wally canonically holds an interest in apples but prefers to observe and admire the fruit instead of consuming them. He is also mentioned to be 12 apples tall, which is apparently 3 feet. It's a meme within the fandom to draw Wally in an apple costume, stealing apples from Howdy's store, or making apple-related puns. An example being, "You're the apple of my eye." While it's currently unknown as to what Wally's entire personality is like, some fans take it amongst themselves to portray Wally as extremely possessive of you. This slenderization has caused some polarization in the fandom, as some claim it crosses clown's boundaries and romanticizes abusive behavior. On a lighter note, other memes within the fandom is that Wally uses a lot of hairspray to maintain his pompadour hairstyle, and has a rather prominent booty. Johnlocked. As mentioned before, people often ship him with Barnaby. He is also shipped with Julie. Morally gray/villain. At the moment, we can't tell what Wally's intentions are, or even what kind of situation he is in. Fanon has quickly interpreted Wally as either being evil, villainous, or at least morally gray. Officially recognized. See here. Oncerization. Welcome Home AUs are becoming more and more common as the fanbase grows. A whole community has spawned from Wally-centric AUs, and said AUs interacting with each other, from Candyland and Plushie to more classic AU types like Opposite and Mafia.